Hey everybody, this is David Bui. Welcome to another edition of Hometown PTBO. I'm with a returning guest and now the executive director of Musicfest, Tracey Randall. Tracey, congratulations first of all on your new title.
Thanks. I wasn't sure that would happen. It's nice. I've been there 12 years now, 10 seasons, and really grown the team. And the diverse lineup is people are really happy with it.
Well, before we get into Musicfest, we want to know a little bit more about you because we're gonna talk about some of the details of Musicfest shortly. But you were born and raised here in Peterborough. You kind of grew up here. What kind of drew you to kind of just stay here in Peterborough instead of just going elsewhere?
So I did go elsewhere. So what happened was I was raised here. I went to Westmount and Crestwood, and then I went to Fleming, and then I worked for Fred Anderson here at the park back in 1987, which was the first year of the Peterborough Festival of Lights. I worked for him for both summers, 87 and 88, and I saw the stage go up. Now I've seen it come down, but yeah, it was fun. I drove boat number 2 with my friend Gwen, and I really love Peterborough, but I needed to move to the city to do some events because I really loved tourism. And so I moved to Toronto and spent many years there. Worked at a Fortune 500 company, and then I ended up on the Olympic circuit.
Ooh, wow.
So I went to Beijing, and I ended up in Vancouver, which I love. I figure skated here at the MEM Center. So I just loved the fact that, we had the Olympics in Calgary, and I thought if it ever comes back to Canada, I'm going to work it. And I made it happen.
Wow.
So I was there 4 years in Vancouver, and then I came back here just for a visit before I was going to Pan Am Games. And my dad was like, there's a mat leave. You need to run the festival. I'm like, Dad, I drove the boats around. I don't know. And he's like, no, you need to do this. So sure enough, here I am 12 years later, running the festival. And I moved back home after 35 years away.
That's what I was saying. Now you moved back home, and now you've been the head honcho for Musicfest for a while, general manager, now executive director. How did this come about for you assuming this new role?
Yeah, so it's the same role. It's just that I think the board felt that there was nobody I reported to. I'm basically it. So they thought that they should. Most festivals and most non-for-profits have an executive director. But yeah, I'm just proud that we brought the festival as far as we have, and I didn't think I'd be here 12 years later. My mortgage just was 10 years yesterday that I've had a mortgage in Peterborough. Wow. But I do love it here. I love the arts. All my friends are here. I'm the oldest of 7 children, so I have 5 brothers. All but 2 are here, so it's just really lovely to be home near my dad. And I have a dog named Rocky that I talked about last time, and he saved me through the pandemic. I said I saved him, I rescued him, but he saved me.
Aww. So now we move on to the meat and potatoes of this segment. What can you tell me about this year's Musicfest lineup?
Yeah, so we're pretty pumped. We're back to late June, so when the kids get out of school, we open. Always when the summer starts, the festival opens. So June 29th, we've got Tennille Towns coming with Griffin Palmer. So we're pumped about that night. And we also have Lindsay L coming later in the summer. Normally we end with country. This year we're starting with country. Yeah.
And this year you have a lot of big acts coming in. You have, first of all, you have Down with Webster, which my fiance is dying to go see this year. David Wilcox is here, and I have I Mother Earth as well. So we have some big names for this year's
Metric will pack. Like, we've got people coming in from the States. There's no other free concert in Canada. They sold out of the St. Catharines tickets, so we're hoping. We heard from someone today from Maine and someone from Buffalo that have booked hotels. So we're hoping that the town will be bustling for them. It's a midweek, and we know Emily Haynes is connected to Tim at Blue Streak Records, so I have to do a shout out to him. And yeah, we're just really pumped. You're right. Down with Webster's 10 years. They haven't been together, so we got the first call. We have some in with them, so we're really pumped to have them. It'll be the middle of the summer too, so I think people will be ready to party on all summer with Down with Webster.
Absolutely.
And David Wilcox, I grew up with him. Like, he was out the Pines, Miss Diana, you name it. I saw David Wilcox. Mostly David Wilcox, Trooper, and Kim Mitchell.
Oh wow!
When I was
big
growing
lineup,
up.
yeah. That's a big lineup.
That's what I was doing.
It's there's a lot of work that goes into booking a lot of the high-end talents, which I've definitely seen a lot of them. I've seen Big Rec, 5440, Flock of Seagulls, just to give an example. Our Lady Peace. I was at that one too. That was actually one of my very first dates with my fiance. Was the Our Lady Peace concert.
Oh my God, there was like about 15,000 people in the park for that
big
one.
connection for that one for me.
Good.
Absolutely. So now, as we kind of look into the future of Music Fest, I know we asked you this 2 years ago. I'm going to ask you again if anything has changed. Are there any dream acts that you would love to have for Music Fest just down the road?
Yeah, so one of my favorites, I've got obviously booked about 80, but I think, or 80, 180. I think one of my favorites was Colin James. He really was widespread. We had a lot of different people in the park, so it was a large demographic, and he does such cool things. So I really like him. So I'll try and get him next year. But if I had my very high wish of Sting from the Police, like he's the most amazing musician I've ever seen in concert. But yeah, that's a huge wish list.
Yep,
Like a lot of
fair
people
enough.
ask us for Carrie Underwood and Pink, and but we can't do that. But we wouldn't. I'd be afraid of the park and the water. And
That's right. The
It's too
Carrie
big.
Underwood Peterborough connection, as
Right?
we mentioned 2 years ago.
Right?
Like, exactly
Yes.
that.
What would yours be?
I would absolutely
Yeah.
love to see Foo Fighters. That's my
Oh,
favorite
Foo
band.
Fighters.
However, if I'm going to go a little bit more
Yeah.
on the realistic side,
Yeah.
I would say Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Oh, yeah, BTO.
Yeah. I say BTO is kind of like the
Yeah.
Foo Fighters for like maybe
Yes.
like the 50-year-olds.
So mine's Doobie Brothers.
Doobie Brothers?
Yeah, I
Oh.
saw them with Steely Dan at Bud Stage a couple of years ago, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, I wonder if I could get the Doobie Brothers.
Ooh.
But you know, Michael McDonald just came back, but oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. would.
BTO and Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, I think BTO would be great here
Right?
in this,
oh my
in this
God, it'd be-
demographic.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Well, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations again
Thank
on your
you.
new title, and thank you for continuing to run Music Fest. I don't know what the culture would be without this, so
you.
thank you so much for running this
Yeah.
free concert program for us series. We definitely need it, and I always look forward to coming out every year to this.
It's very rewarding, you know, the job to give back to people that can't really afford a ticket, or those that just want to bring their friends and a vacation, and you know, they plan their summers around us. So we're just so proud that we can continue to do so. And thank you to those that give back to us in the winter for Diners Books, and all those sponsors out there. You're the best. We can't live without you and the volunteers. We just really thank you so much. And 10 days or 5 days, whatever
Yeah.
you're going to play this.
Yep.
It's we'll be back at the park, so we'll see you down at Del Prairie.
Absolutely. So Saturday, June 29th, Neil Towns will be kicking off Peterborough Music Fest. And thank you for joining us, everyone, on Hometown PTBO. Thank you for watching Hometown PTBO, brought to you by CIBC, Pile Wealth Advisory.